Well, from politics to public safety, San Francisco Sheriff Paul Miyamoto has been in the headlines, stepping in during a foot chase in newsmaking, political endorsement, and now launching a big recruitment push. So let's start with that foot chase. And this is major. I'm going to pause here so you can sort of hear this. This was in San Francisco yesterday morning. You can hear the tense moments there. Training had to kick in these moments. Deputies chasing a man through the Soma neighborhood who appeared armed with a knife. Pepper spray and other tools just didn't stop him. So San Francisco Sheriff Paul Miyamoto stepping in with a taser. We've got the sheriff here to talk about these tense moments. Sheriff, we understand that, first of all, hi, welcome.
Good morning.
We understand that this started blocks and blocks away, and that this case could definitely be a conversation about mitigation efforts before that taser is ever deployed. Why don't you take us back in time to what was happening?
There was a foot pursuit with this individual. There were numerous attempts at de-escalation. This was a response from the SFPD and the sheriff's office. So we collaborated on working to stop the individual from moving. He had a weapon in his hand, wasn't responding to anything, and was not responsive to any of the other less lethal tools that we have. So.
Let's go ahead and show some of that video again as we continue the conversation about this, because I'm fascinated because we have this conversation in our country about the importance of de-escalation steps. Would you say that this is something that worked here? This did not end in a death. This ended in somebody going to a hospital and getting some help. Is this something that really points to the fact that police training can save a life in these situations?
It absolutely does, because this is an example of the use of a tool that we have on our tool belt that is designed to stop somebody and to give us an advantage and take control of that individual so that we can take them into custody, make sure they're not harmful to themselves or to anybody else, and it's a safer way for us to do things. And the collaboration between us and the police department in order to resolve this matter was really what I want to highlight. There was another deputy involved as well. Yeah. We both discharged our tasers and were able to stop the individual from continuing on his way.
Now, a lot of people are like, wait, the sheriff gets out and does this? How did you end up right in the middle? You were the tip of the spear, so to speak.
Well, just the right place, the right time. I just joined the other individuals who were attempting to stop the person, both with the police units and our sheriff units. Like I said, right place, right time, and I'd never do something, or I'd never have my people do something I wouldn't do myself.
Right. Okay, I got to ask you, because this is an issue that is making national news, and that is, of course, President Trump calling up National Guard troops. It's being litigated in California whether he should have or had the right to do that. Down south, we have heard the president name Oakland, which we know that's not in your responsibility area. But to the issue, when you hear about National Guard troops going into communities and being federalized to reduce crime, how does that affect you in your department and your leadership?
Well, this is my 30th year in local law enforcement, and I believe that our local agencies have the tools and the ability to take care of issues of concern with public safety, especially crime, as crime rates increase or decrease, and we're very fortunate now in San Francisco to have our crime rates decreasing. It's up to the local agencies to take care of that, and it should be a call for assistance rather than somebody else stepping in.
Right, and obviously there's a question about the numbers, but Oakland, the president mentioned Oakland specifically, while Oakland is saying, look, our crime numbers are down. He did not mention San Francisco. Was there some relief from the sheriff's department that San Francisco wasn't mentioned when he talked about Baltimore and Oakland and Washington, D.C. and New York?
As we've mentioned many times before, local law enforcement should be left with taking care of local criminal problems, and the federal government can focus on what they want to focus on at the national level.
Okay, got to ask you, endorsement for governor. That made some headlines there. How did that all come about, and where do you stand on that?
Right now, there's an individual running for governor who also happens to be a sheriff of a large Southern California county, and I've worked with him for years. He's a peer and a friend, and I'm supporting him as a sheriff, fellow sheriff.
Fellow law enforcement officer.
Yes.
Okay, well, and the last and most important question that we have for you this morning, what'd you have for breakfast?
I had a cup of coffee, and I'm looking forward to a really big breakfast.
Okay, let's get it for you.
All right.
Thank you, Sheriff. Nice to talk to you. Always great. Your stories in your communities, that's what we're all about.